Hello fellow data friends. I have done 25 time lapses to find the best AI mod. At first, we will go over the mods I used. Then we will compare statistics like GDP, population, great power statistics, unifications, performance and late game goods. Then we will take a look into one world for each mod in 1940 and finish with a small overview of the main advantages and disadvantages of each mod. Firstly, I did 5 time lapses with 1.9.8 vanilla, so we have a baseline to compare the mod results to. The first mod is an old friend, Kuromi's AI. Kuromi's AI had solid results in the past, consistently beating vanilla in 1.7 and 1.8 by 30% or more in 1940. All my time lapses used the current version, which was uploaded on the 12th of August. The second mod is Smart AI. Smart AI had mixed results in the past. It had some problems in 1.7, but was very strong in 1.8. All my time lapses used the current version, which was uploaded on the 23rd of July. Then I will also test Gray's smarter private construction. According to the mod description, it will also help the AI build basic things. I haven't tested this mod previously, but Master of Gray is a modding veteran. I am curious about the results. All my time lapses used the current version, which was uploaded on the 20th of August. And last but not least, we have a newcomer, Advanced AI. It was posted in the end of July, just this year. I time-lapsed this mod between the 18th of August and the 21st of August, and there have been several small updates since. So let's compare. As I said previously, I did 5 time lapses on each mod and on vanilla. I use the global GDP as central metric because then the results are less dependent on the warmongering of great powers. I color coded the mods so it's easier to keep track. We reached 1940 and a pattern emerged. Kuromi's AI is clearly in the lead and Smarter AI is last. Gray's mod is second, but has some outliers. Advanced AI is mostly better than vanilla, but seems to have more volatility in the global economic performance. Before we dive deeper into the results, I want to highlight just how good the vanilla AI has become. This graph is from my AI mod comparison on 1.8.6. Blue is vanilla, which reached about 3 billion global GDP, while Smarter AI was a bit over 5 billion and Kuromi's AI was a bit under 5 billion. This is a global AI GDP of 1.9.0. It almost reached 5 billion global GDP, about the level of Kuromi's AI previously. Already an improvement of about 60%. And this is a global GDP of 1.9.8, reaching more than 8 billion. Again a massive improvement. Well done, Paradox. And now it's time for the AI mod results. This graph shows the average global GDP of all 4 mods in vanilla. We can see that Smarter AI falls behind already in 1860 and never recovers from that. Advanced AI fell behind in the 1870s, but then recovers compared to vanilla, and there's a back and forth. Vanilla, Grace and Kuromi are rather similar until 1880, where Kuromi and Grace pull ahead. After 1910, Kuromi's AI speeds up even more. But in this graphic, it's hard to compare the early game due to the scaling. So let's look at this graph. This shows the average global GDP relative to vanilla's global GDP. At first one notices Smarter AI's almost immediate drawdown. Smarter AI was warmongering a lot in the past, so maybe the AI started some big wars in the early game and crashed their economies. Again, vanilla does a decent job until about 1870-1880. Then Kuromi and Grace start taking off. Advanced AI recovers fully and Smarter AI partially. Now let's look at population. Please ignore these spikes, these are due to rerolls which my code cannot handle perfectly. But we can see that Smarter AI and Advanced AI both struggle to keep up with the global population growth compared to vanilla and the other mods. Both Grace and Kuromi beat vanilla regarding the population for the entire game, while Grace has more in 1940. Probably because Kuromi's population is richer on average in the late game. Let's look at some more country and great power statistics. All values given are average values over all 5 time lapses for each mod. The values are taken in 1940. At first, I counted the number of great powers. I think only Smarter AI is worth mentioning. Smarter AI tends to have 1 or 2 super economies, usually Russia and the US, and the rest is usually mid at best. Here's the average global GDP for each mod. And this is the GDP from the great powers expressed as a percentage of global GDP. We can see that most AI mods concentrate a bit more global GDP in the great powers. And this is a global population and the population of the great powers. Noticeably, Kuromi's great powers have a higher percentage of global population, likely due to the fact that China became a great power in 3 of 5 games. I also gathered the army prestige of all great powers. All mods have bigger armies, the Grace bigger armies are probably just a result of having more GDP in general. But man, Kuromi's AI likes to spend their extra cash on big armies. The biggest armies were in this time lapse. Look at that USA. It's so ready to export democracy. Still, I was looking for a way to get a better idea for the concentration of GDP in each mod. So I tried counting the number of countries above certain GDP thresholds. Keep in mind that Kuromi has a lot more global GDP than the rest and Smarter AI has the least amount. But still, Smarter AI's GDP seems to be way more concentrated in less nations. Though all mods seem to be a lot better in making super economies above 1 billion GDP. Here we can also see Smarter AI tendencies to make Russia and the US into superpowers. Let's look at some major events like unifications and explosions of important countries. I always compared 1940 for this. At first, Germany and its different stages. Advanced AI seems to be pretty good at creating Super Germany, while Kuromi's AI struggles with Germany. With Grace mod, I had some kind of unification in every game. Smarter AI had many Italys on the map, while Advanced AI and Kuromi had none. For some reason, China often exploded into pieces for Grace mod. I don't mean that some great powers snagged some Chinese provinces, I mean proper balkanization of China. In Smarter AI, India is often completely torn apart and shredded into tiny bits. And all mods and vanilla had usually a unified USA. Losing the civil war occasionally is absolutely fine. Let's talk about performance. For each time-lapse, attract the time and observer mode needed to reach 1870, 1900 and 1940. You can see two numbers for advanced AI for 1940. There was one big outlier which needed 1 hour longer than the other time-lapses. I don't know why, but I just wanted to point that out. Kuromi's AI took the longest, but Kuromi also has the best results. And I want to highlight Gray's smarter private construction here. It improves the AI's GDP by about 10% on average, without increasing performance on average. Quite nice. We have learned that some mods make the AI economies bigger, but are they also more advanced? So let's look at some high-end goods and global sell orders. I don't mean world market sell orders, but really global sell orders in all markets except the world market. These results are from 1936, not 1940. Electricity first. Even vanilla is actually able to produce decent amounts now. That is probably why 1.9.8 had way more GDP than 1.9.0. Also, Kuromi is producing a lot more. Everyone is also producing good amounts of automobiles, but again, Kuromi is leading by a lot. The proper production of late game goods is probably the reason why Kuromi pulled ahead even further after 1910. Most mods in vanilla don't produce many radios, except Kuromi. And all mods produce a lot more telephones than vanilla. Even Kuromi is struggling with aeroplanes. While Kuromi is leading, only 3 of Kuromi's time-lapses produced planes. And last but not least, tanks. That is a lot better for Kuromi, but basically no one else produces tanks in a decent amount. Let's quickly look into one time-lapse from each mod in 1940. For each mod, I will use the time-lapse with the biggest global GDP in 1940. Kuromi first. Here are the great powers, and I love this massive heavenly kingdom. While 2 other time-lapses had China as a great power as well, never this big. Europe looks mostly unchanged. Africa is mostly controlled by Britain and France. In Asia, we have this beautiful heavenly kingdom. The USA looks almost perfect, though Alaska belongs to Mexico. And Argentina, Peru and Chile were busy apparently. This is Gray's best time-lapse, and here are the great powers. Both Britain and Russia crossed the 1 billion GDP threshold. And we see a lot unifications. The North German Federation is almost a proper Germany, Italy unified, and the Netherlands unified as well, although the NGF took a bite. Great Britain and France control a lot of Africa, but we also have this, let's say, beautiful Dutch Congo. Asia looks mostly normal, there's no Chinese explosion in this time-lapse. The US is looking somewhat ugly, but there's no confederation at least. And we have 3 Perus in South America. This is a time-lapse from advanced AI. We have the usual suspects as great powers, and the USA has a GDP of 1.4 billion pounds. We have a nice German empire, a partially unified Italy, and I love the 2 Switzerlands. Africa looks normal to me. And no surprises in Asia. The USA expanded beyond its historical borders, just like Brazil and Chile. This time-lapse is from smarter AI. Both Russia and the US are above 1 billion GDP. The top 5 great powers have a nice GDP, but then it declines sharply. But smarter AI's worlds are usually fun to explore because they are usually quite different to vanilla. Like this Byzantium, which has the Ottoman Empire as a puppet. Or the Confederation of the Rhine, controlled by Russia. We also have some unified Belgian states. Africa is only partially colonized, which I think worked fine in 1.8 for smarter AI. China is unified, but India is looking rough, which is somewhat normal for smarter AI. Don't look at Alaska if children are nearby. And Argentina went mad in South America. Cuba belongs to Gran Colombia. So let's draw some final conclusions about each mod. Keep in mind that I focused on GDP improvements and looked at the resulting worlds. There may very well be other improvements which I didn't notice or just couldn't see with the methods I used. Advanced AI has improved German unifications, and there's usually 1, often 2 great powers above 1 billion GDP. These countries could serve as end bosses. but the global GDP is very similar to vanilla, but with greater variations in both directions. Kuromi's AI is just the best mod regarding economic improvements. But as a result, the performance gets worse and I saw less major unifications than in vanilla. Smarter AI behaves very differently, and if you are bored of the typical vanilla AI behavior, test this mod. While it had great results in the past, the economy of smarter AI is currently worse than vanilla, probably because of warmongering. Gray's smarter private construction provides a solid improvement for AI GDP and even slightly increased performance in my timelapses. As far as I can tell, Gray's mod would also improve the player's private construction AI, which is totally fine, but if you want a harder game, this might not be the right mod for you. So, which mod do you want to try? I hope these insights help you. Thanks a lot to Sulfi for supporting my channel as data capitalist. That is very much appreciated. If you want to see a test of the random lucky nation feature of a small mod I am currently building, click on the video on the right. Thanks a lot for watching, and I see you on the next one.